Hello everyone, here I am. Sorry, do excuse me, sorting myself out. Might as well look presentable since I'm going to be on the counter. While I'm ironing, I thought, here we go. Let's just turn you so you get me a little clearer. Not look bad for nearly 50, do we? It says, still not warm in this country. Should be blazing sunshine outside. It's more October today. And I thought I'd bring you with me while I did a tiny bit of ironing. Because, hey, that's what we have to do sometimes during the day while our husbands are at work and our other children. Darling, daughter number one is having a sleep right now because she's got to be working this evening. As many of you know, she's a nurse. She's a children's nurse, and she's a damn fine nurse. Graduated last year. First class degree with honours. I couldn't have been more proud. We had the graduation last November, December. It was December. And hold it now. Didn't matter. Because we still had a beautiful day. And our little girl looked glorious. And our other daughter is 2 years off graduating. She would have graduated next year, but the tutors had a word with her and said, we think you should be doing a master's. So a few switcheroos happened, and a 3-year course became a 4-year course. And Madame will not only have a bachelor's degree, she will have a master's degree as well. Could be more proud. That brings me to the subject of today. I thought, while I'm ironing, and I've been thinking, as you do. And I can't get my head around this manifesting thing. It's really bothering me. I mean, it's not bothering me more than it should. Because I don't get how you say, I am manifesting. What are you manifesting? Manifesting a mess? Because that's what's going to happen if you don't sort it out. I'm from a generation that you got up and you went to work and you made it happen. It didn't matter how you made it happen. If you wanted it, you had to make it happen. And that usually meant you had to go out and earn it. It was never given to you. So this manifesting thing, how do you will it to be given to you? And if so, what's the catch? Because, as the old saying goes, there are no free lunches in this world. There will never be free lunches in this world because at some point, somebody needs to pay something. Pay the piper, pay the price. Oh, we all know what happened to the Pied Piper. He did his magic flute, and off the rats went, following him. And the townsfolk, or should I say the Lord Mayor, decided that he wasn't going to play the piper for getting rid of all the rats, so the Pied Piper played his magic flute, and off the children went, never to be seen again. Disappeared behind a rock, and he took them with him. So, you see what happens that's what I fear manifestations are. I fear that people seem to think that if they sit down for long enough, think hard enough about it, and pray long enough, it will happen. No. You get up, you devise a plan, and you make it happen. You don't rock up at a bank and ask for £100,000 for a business without going in the business plan. And that's what life should be like. And all fares to the Pied Piper of Hamelin, but you really should have had a contract written up with the townsfolk and the Lord Mayor. But, you know, the townsfolk paid the ultimate price because they lost all the children. It's the fault of the Pied Piper. And that was it. And that's what manifesting will get you. You can sit there and will it all you want, but it ain't gonna happen unless you get up and make it happen. You want that fancy car? Go out there and earn the money to be able to afford that fancy car. It's not going to be given to you. And anybody on the internet that turns round and says, manifest, and it will come, are lying. They are lying, and you know deep down that they're lying. So don't be lazy. Get up, make your bed, do the washing up, wash your own, organise your day, and get to work. Because if anything was worth having, it's worth working for. Nothing is handed to you. Nothing. You have to go out and you have to earn. Right? Forget this manifestation thing because it's a bunch of hot. Yeah. Try not to swear. It's quite distressing watching a young generation, the generation I've given birth to. You see, I'm a Gen X. Oh God, can you believe this? Gen X married a boomer, my husband, and we got 2 Gen Zs. And they're lovely. Our girls are so lovely. They work so hard. They really do. As I say, one's a fully qualified nurse, finishing off her on-the-job training with her getting the lines and the IVs and all the rest of it signed off, which is fantastic. And that's what happens. You don't just suddenly come out of university and you're a fully qualified nurse and you know everything. No, it doesn't work like that. You might get everything down on paper that says you can do it, but then comes the practical side of things. Again, you can manifest that all you like, but unfortunately, you have to do the work to gain the experience to be able to get the boxes ticked in order to become actually physically qualified. Qualified on paper, great, lovely. Best laid plans are on paper until they actually have to put them into action. Yeah? So here you are. You might have everything down on paper that makes you absolutely qualified out the door, unless you have that practical experience, my darlings. And you ain't going to manifest that without actually physically getting up and doing it. You're following the drift. Nothing happens unless you make it happen. Right? And that is called get up, make bed, the washing on, get your life in order, get out the door, have a plan, put the plan into action, get the money, and then get whatever it is that you want. And it's the same with anything, right? I'm from a generation, I keep saying this, I'm from a generation, God, my grandma, that you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. You get on with it. You want it, you've got to earn it. Give yourself options. Give yourself possibilities. Give yourself the A to Z of a plan. Because if plan A don't work, move on to plan B. Okay? Always, always have options. Always have money in a rainy day fund. Because you never know when something like the car breaks down or the boiler breaks down. And you need to have the money there and ready so that you can fix these things. You cannot manifest your boiler getting fixed. It will still be broken next week if that's what you're going to do. You understand? You have to do it yourself. You have to say, right, I need the money to fix the broken boiler. Because this happened to us earlier this year. And we needed the boiler fixing. Fortunately, we were insured. But we only were insured for so much, and the rest of it we had to do ourselves. Which we had to do. You know, it's been a bit of a year, it's 2024. My husband, right at the beginning, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, very poorly, right? With his liver. And we thought, oh my goodness, he's going to have an operation. And, you know, whatever it was, the stones that he had there, he must have passed them. But my goodness me, what a painful experience that was. No sooner we got my husband back up on his feet, then the car packed up. So we had to go out and buy a brand new car. And it turns out we were sold a Duff car by a rather naughty garage. So we had the car fixed, decided that we weren't going to keep it, went out and got another car. So this is the year of the two cars. Finally got the first car sold, and the second car is just, you know, what's the word? Which word? Wonderful. But yeah, so we get that sorted out, and then Archie, our beloved little boy Archie, got incredibly sick very, very quickly with cancer. And he passed away within a week with a massive tumour. Wow. Well, I prayed and prayed for him to get better, but it's not going to happen. He died, and I'm still grieving him. I know it might look as though I don't give it, but I do. You know, I am one of these people that cries in private. Nobody wants to see you ugly crying, ever. Especially me. Blimey. That's not something I'll ever get over, seeing me ugly crying. So, Orca passed away. Worst Mother's Day in history. It was absolutely awful watching him suffer. Couldn't bear it. And so Monday the 11th of March, my darling boy, we had to put him down. And that was the hardest, worst thing ever. My poor little girl, because it was her, Orky was her boy, had to go back to university that day, and I felt wretched knowing that she had to go back. And it was just Just so awful. It truly, truly was. And so after that, I thought things might calm down just a little bit. Just a wee bit. And then I start again with my teeth. Yeah. Day after my birthday, 8th of April, my tooth snaps. I phone the NHS dentist in Halifax, and they can't see me until the 5th of June. 8th of April, 5th of June. Yeah, that's how bad it's got with NHS dentists. So at that point, we made a monumental decision. As we were already paying dental insurance, it made perfect sense to go private, which we did. So not only is my dental care private, so is my medical care. So if two things have come out of this year, we've gone private with everything. My husband went private with his liver problem in January. So it just makes sense. The way the NHS is at the moment, it's frightening. And I appreciate that not everybody can have private medical care. I do get that. But I do pay for it. My husband and I, we do pay for it. You know? Like I say, I can manifest all I like for my teeth to get fixed, but unless I physically go down and pay for it and get it sorted with the dentist, it ain't gonna happen. I'd like to think that the end of this year is starting to be a little bit better than the beginning of this year, which has been a real stinker. It really has. I mean, in between teeth breaking and Orca dying, we got a wonderful little boy that came into our lives called Montgomery. Yeah. Bernard Law Montgomery, or Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery, as is his full name. And Orca was Orca Charles Emerson Winchester III. So we like to give our pets distinguished names. Also, it's a heck of a lot of fun standing at the door, calling them in on a night. Because if people would know, it's definitely us. We're well known where we are as being slightly eccentric. But we're also a lot of fun. We're a very fun family. And we're a very loving family, and we are very closely together. We're a close-knit family. There's just the four of us. Well, actually, there's just the five of us because we have to include Monty, just as we did with Orca. And we're a family that makes things happen. We're not a family that sits around and says, oh, manifest, it's going to happen. Because I prayed for it. I made it happen. I dreamt it would happen. No. We got up. We made our beds. We got on with it. And we remembered to put the washing on. Oh, goodness me. If you ever want to know if I've been kidnapped, just follow the laundry. I'll leave a trail of socks so you can shine to me. I seem to spend inordinately a lot of time in the utility room. That is where, you know what, that is guaranteed. If you're looking for me, that's where I will be. By the washing machine or by the bars. Or sorting out one of my irons in order to get everything, up and running. I do find ironing very, very therapeutic. it's, if you've had a very stressful life, which I have had a very stressful life, this is a way for me to feel relaxed. Helps me with my mental health, if you like. Yeah. I like to be on my own. I'm very much a loner. I just want my family around me. And if I let you into my life and I'm talking to you and I'm being a friend with you, I would say consider yourself one of the chosen ones, because I don't let people in, really. Not, I'm just a very reserved person in that respect. I tend to hide. I tend to hide in this room. Why you always see me in this room. Unless, of course, I'm in the garden, like I was a bit yesterday. Oh, that stuff! It's called Bug a Lugs, and it is a artificial lawn cleaner. It was fresh cut grass that we used. Oh, so good. Really, really good. And it disinfected everything, so that when Monty goes out to play, he's going to have a nice little play area, isn't he? Yeah, because he's so tiny still. When you look at all the other big cats that we have around here, he's a tiny little fella. He needs to do a little bit of growing before we'll let him out. Bless him. He's such a good lad, but I think they'd eat him alive. And that's not going to be nice. I don't want him first time going out properly and he gets smacked by another cat. No. That'd terrify you, wouldn't it? Exactly. And that'd terrify me. If I were going out for the first time, there's somebody to smack me. Actually, that's probably why I stay in here. I tolerate being outside and I tolerate having to deal with the outside world and everything that goes with the outside world, but I'm more relaxed and happier when I'm in here, stood at the ironing board, relaxing. I know people say, "Are you not? How do you find ironing relaxing?" Well, I do actually. It's not something that you have to spend a lot of time thinking about, you know. You just stand and iron out your anger, iron out your worries, iron out your problems. Do an awful lot of ironing. I quite enjoy it actually. Get a good play on the radio or an audio book. Oh, that's just bliss. Or an old movie and the Turner Classic Movies. Oh, I do that. Yes. So, what we're going to take away from my little run through today is you cannot manifest something to happen, because we all know that that's a bunch of rubbish. What we can do is get off our backsides and make sure it happens by going out there and making it happen. Get a job. Get a driver's license. Get a job. Yeah. Make sure you get educated. Manifest all you like looking at that textbook, but unless you open it up and start reading it and asking questions to the teacher, you're not going to get an education, are you? So, turn up to class and get your education and become a worthwhile citizen. Yes. Make sure that your education leads you in the direction of a vocation, of your future job. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Making sure that you learn. Spend 4 years at university. Spend was it 5 years high school, 2 years doing your A-levels, and then another 4 years getting your degree. And that's your adult side of education. Because, I mean, we all know we start school at 4 years old in this country. Do I think that that's too early? No, actually I don't. I think it's the perfect age. I'd like to see more children, when they're going to junior school, being able to at least recognise, oh sorry, not junior school, actually it's infants, isn't it? I'd like them to be able to recognise their own name. I'd like them to be toilet trained. It's not difficult. The adults that are raising them, the parents, should be ensuring that this is happening. Make sure your children can recognise their name. Make sure they're toilet trained. Make sure that they can ask basic questions. Yeah. And in some cases, like my children, they could spell their names and they could already write before they went to infant school. It doesn't matter how you get your child writing, just make sure that they do. I used to have endless sheets of paper and crayons and pencil pens and things like that, and paint. And that's how my children sort of learned. And I used to, every time they did something at school, no matter what it was, they'd bring it home and I would put it up in the kitchen on the cupboard doors, and everywhere was covered with their artwork because I wanted the girls to realise how truly special they were. And I wanted them to know that I loved everything that they did. Look at this. Right? It doesn't mean much to many people, but my daughter, it was Eleanor. My daughter Eleanor made this at junior school. You know, she's now got a degree and she's working as a nurse. Do you know what I keep in it? The radiator key. Just in case I need a radiator key. You never know when your radiators might need bleeding. So that's what that holds. And she made it. And I absolutely adore it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've just gone and smacked it on the side of the telephone. But there we are. Clean that up. So be proud of what your children achieve. Every time they come home with a certificate, no matter what it was, if they got it for tying the shoelaces, or if they did it because they were a good friend, you know, they got a certificate for that, or being a nice person. Make something of it. Celebrate the little things. Let your children know that they mean something, right? That they mean, you know, the world to you, really. Tell them you love them. Read to your children. Make sure you have favourite book. Ours was Slinky Malinky by Linley Dodd. If you've not read Slinky Malinky, you're missing out. You need to. And Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. Oh dear me. Two very, very much favourite books of the children. And Scarface Claw. Oh, the scariest cat you ever did saw. Yeah, all by Linley Dodd. Amazing. I love those novels. The kids love them. But again, I didn't manifest that they were going to be able to read, did I? No. We sat down and helped them to read. I mean, I can remember my youngest, she came home and she'd only been at infant school for a week. And she came home with her first homework, which is really cute. And it was I knew where it would be because my eldest had done the same one. And it was a book called The Magic Key of Biff and Chipper the dog. Now you will all know that one. Anyway, This one was about a hedgehog, but there were no words. You just had to make a story up from the pictures that you could see in the book. And I can see her teacher now, and she just says, well, she came into the classroom and she took the book out of her bag and she gave it to me. Well, actually, she threw it at me and she says, where are the words? And bearing in mind, she was 4 years old. She was about 4.5 actually, because she was a winter baby, whereas my eldest is a summer baby. So, you know, just the way it is. But she practically threw the book at the teacher and said, where are the words? How am I supposed to read a book if there's no words in it? It doesn't make sense. And at that point, she knew she had a teeny genius on her hands. And it was the same when it came to doing learning the letters, and they did it phonically. It was called phonics. I don't know, they probably still teach that way. So Wilders have been in an infant classroom, given the fact that she's now 20 and the other one's 22. So anyway, they learned phonics and they learned to count using click bricks, where you put one brick to one brick and then you have 2 bricks, so that meant the number 2, right? Yeah, got with yourself. And she got so frustrated with everything. I mean, she just, it got to the point in her first year of being in the class that she was doing little mathematical booklets, some which I would purchase back when Toys R Us, when Geoffrey, was a business, and you could get little learning books from the mathematical ones and literacy. I would send it to school with those, and the school would provide them as well. And she would be whizzing through those while all the others were grappling with getting their heads round the phonics, where you go, tennis, tennis, tennis. What does tennis start with? Tennis starts with T. And they do a little dance like that, and that's learning your phonics. And she didn't have time for that. Yeah, well, T, tennis, she'll bloody spell it. I bet you know what, she could go out there and have a match as well. And she was just that kind of child. Hysterical. But always needed to be challenged. Which is henceforth, while she's now out in South Korea learning the Korean language. Admittedly, she won't know it all by the time she comes back, but she'll have a good grasp of it, and it will help her moving forward doing the rest of her degree. She loves nothing more than animals. She's always loved animals, and henceforth she's studying zoology. And she's ended up under the tuition of an epidemiologist who can see potential in her. She didn't manifest that now, did she? No. She made damn sure that everything that she was doing and writing about and preparing and doing notes on, etc., etc., was catching the attention of people. So she didn't manifest that. She just got up her backside and ensured it happened by making sure that when she did reports and papers, that hers were the best. It's like the saying that I always tell my girls: you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the person that's next to you so that they become bear food and you don't. You have to be the one that goes the extra mile, that does the extra bits and pieces. Make sure that they notice you by making sure that your work is better than everybody else's. Understanding now? Not having to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the person that's by the side of you. Well, that's what's happened. So now she's been taken under the wing of the epidemiologist. And she will do the rest of her zoology degree with her language at the side of it and under the care of the epidemiology department and the head of epidemiology. You can see where this is going, can't you? It gives her options, doesn't it? And that's what I'm saying about manifestation. You cannot just say, I want to be head of zoology, I want to be head of epidemiology, I want to be able to cure the next pandemic that comes out, I will manifest it so that I can. No. You are going to get up off your backside, put your washing on, and you're going to make sure that you do all the lessons and all the lectures, and you are going to learn, and you are going to make damn sure you understand what it is that you're learning so that you can put it into practice. Yeah, like I say, nothing is ever given to you. You have to go out and earn it and get it yourself. You cannot manifest anything. Anyway, feel a bit better now I've got that off my chest. But it has been bothering me for some time. It's like trying to manifest winning the Euros. Mr. Southgate, let this be a time reminder that you cannot just sit there on the benches praying that they're going to get a goal. You have to give them something to make them hungry for it. It's as though they don't want to be there. I knew I'd get onto football because that's really rankled me last night. Oh boy. I was not a happy little camper last night, no. Mr. Southgate, you really do need to sit those boys down and give them something that wasn't like they had last night. Anybody that we go up against at the moment is going to know exactly what our plan is. We don't have one. No. We cannot go around winging it and praying to God that we might just get one in the back of the net. No, we have to have a strategic plan here. And you need to put the players where they're supposed to be. As in, it's no point having somebody in defence if they're no good. You need to put everybody in the right positions and play them to their strengths. And for goodness sakes, get them working as a team, because at the moment we've got a bunch of prima donnas running around the pitch without a clue. And it doesn't look good. You know, if it hadn't been for Jude Bellingham getting that first one and kicking it in the back of the net, which was more by luck than judgment, if we want to win the next one and not be on the plane home, get everybody where they're supposed to be in the right positions. And for goodness sakes, have a plan. Because at the moment, you don't even have a plan. Just, that's my 2 pennies on that. So, no more manifesting, everybody. If we want something, You're going to go out and earn it, aren't you? You're going to get off your backside, put your laundry on, and get working. Because nothing came to those that don't work. If you don't do anything, you're not going to get anything. So you have to get up, have to go out, have to do it. You have to make a success of your life. You cannot pray that your life will be successful. You have to ensure that it will be successful. So you have to get an education. You have to get with like-minded people that are working towards the same goal. Which is why I don't mind being here when my husband's out at work. Because between us, we're both working together. There's no... What's the word I'm looking for? He is the man of the house. And that's another thing. It's nice having one that leads and one that follows. And sometimes I lead and he follows. And it's called a partnership. And you work together. And you raise the family together. And the more you do together and joining together, it makes the family bond stronger. And it gives stability to the children. And if the children are feeling in a good, stable relationship with their parents, and they can see the parents are pulling together to raise them and to give them chances and opportunities. I didn't manifest that my children were going to go to university, and neither did my husband. We pushed them educationally to give them the opportunities so that they could go, so that they would be useful to the society going forwards. Always pay it forwards, no matter what you do. If something good lands on your lap, pay it forward. Ensure that the next generation has it, right? So that the generation after that can have it. And that's how you move forward. That's what's called progress. You don't manifest that happening, do you? No. The only way you can make it happen is if you get up and make it happen. You just can't pray something into existence. It doesn't work like that. And I think society has got a massive wake-up call coming. Because just telling kids to, if you dream it, it will happen. Oh my goodness me. It's like that line from Wayne's World 2, if you build it, they will come. What? Oh, actually, that was Field of Dreams. But that was a fantasy movie. You know? This is real life. And I know real life can be hard. And I know real life can be difficult. But if you've got the stability and the foundation of a good family behind you, and a partner that's working with you and not against you, then you can make things happen. You just can't manifest it. You understand? Yeah? Good. It's getting through. And Gareth Southgate, Mr. Southgate, we can't just manifest that we're going to win the Euros. We actually have to work for it. You know, we've got to make it happen by making the boys work together as a team. You know? Remember this, the family that slays together stays together. If you've ever seen that Drew Barrymore, oh dear Lord, I believe it to be one of the funniest zombie TV shows out there. And I just thought the tagline was so funny. the family that slays together stays together. Mom's hungry again and we don't want her to eat the kids. Oh, that's okay. We'll just go and pick some random. It sounds sick, but my goodness me, Drew Barrymore. That is probably one of the funniest TV shows I've ever seen you in. It really is. And I just, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of the TV show. But I just remember Drew Barrymore being a zombie. And it was just hysterical. It's a few years ago now. It's probably nearly 10 years ago that TV show came out. Just goes to show how often I watch television. Not a lot. I've actually been enjoying Shogun. I thought that was good TV show. I haven't finished it yet, actually. I've got a few more episodes to go, but family life and all the rest of it got in the way. And I thought, well, when I get 10 minutes of general peace and quiet, I would, settle down and watch the end of it. And I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, the guy that's playing Shogun is pretty dishy. I've got to say, he and the young princess that's in it, who is sort of like learning, and she's the interpreter. That's it. She's not a princess. She's an interpreter, and she's so beautiful. I mean, I can see why he's like, his head's being turned. Goodness me. Absolutely, he's a red-blooded male. Of course, he's going to be looking at her thinking, my God, you're a nice piece of Group 1. You can tell I'm an old girl coming out with sayings like that. So yeah, so we're going to stop manifesting people, aren't we? We're going to start actually physically doing stuff, getting up and getting it mattering and getting it done. Because if you don't put anything in, you don't get anything out. And that is the key to life, right? If you don't educate yourself, then it's never going to happen for you. You need to have the mindset that if you want it, you have to earn it. You have to get out there and do it. Okay? So this is the last one I'm doing now. And then I'm going to have a cup of tea. Because if I don't have a drink soon, I think I'm just going to feel incredibly parched. Like the little engine. He wanted to keep going, he really did. But somebody forgot to put the coal in him, so he couldn't go. And he also needed a big drink of water. You must know the little engine story. Gosh, it's classics of all this time. The little engine that could. Well, he could if he remembered to put the coal in and the water, like the boiler. And then the little engine can. It's the same when you're in a survival situation. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Don't manifest that you're going to survive the disaster. You ensure that you're going to survive the disaster by making sure you do something about your survival. Sitting there and manifesting that something's going to come along and save you. No, you have to sometimes save yourself. Yeah? Follow? As that is, truly. That's how it works. Nothing will come to nothing. Or you can get out and do something and ensure that you make it. Right? It's common sense. It really is. So they've got to stop with these manifesting videos because it's just an absolute pile of junk. Yeah? So from now on, from today, instead of manifesting it happening, you're going to make sure it happens. Why? How are you going to make sure it happens? You're going to give yourself opportunities. And the first big opportunity is getting yourself educated. Because if you're educated, you can do anything. You truly, truly can. It is limitless what you can do when you're educated. Yeah, you can do anything. But you have to be educated to that level to be able to do anything. Understand? You can be a Renaissance person. Sometimes it comes with experience, but education, right? You are educating yourself through a bad experience. In other words, don't throw the toaster in the bathwater while you're in it, as that won't be something that you'll enjoy. Instead, have a nice slice of toast with a cup of tea in the morning. Now that's a more pleasurable experience. Not going to manifest the toast to cook itself, are you? No, because it doesn't happen like that. The bread will still be in the packet. So we really have to get away from this manifestation. Weird, it's just weird, right? If that's what you're going to do, don't be surprised when nothing happens. Okay? And that goes to you, Mr. Southgate. You can sit there all you like on that bench. But unless you send your players out there with a plan, it ain't gonna happen. With all the team shine, it will not happen. You will still, well, you won't be sat on the bench, you'll be sat on the plane home. So, get a plan and make it happen. And get your team working together. Dream work? No, it's teamwork. You have to have teamwork. No teamwork, no trophy. No trophy, and you're on the next plane home. Take care, my darlings, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.